YouTube page as well. Check it out on YouTube, Kari. I'm Hakeem Goodman Bey. But like I said, Morris, class getting ready to start, and no more teaching will be on live. Like I said, all of it will be over. But I will be. I'm a divine minister to a lot of people, and all I'm gonna be doing live is just my Sunday ministry. But it's gonna be no Quranic studies. There's going to be no civics, no history, and no business, no law. I'm not going to be teaching to the public anymore. What I was doing is trying to court everybody. Yep, you can go back on YouTube. Yep. What I've been doing is I've been courting everyone to show them, to build them up, so they can see. I've been giving everybody a preview of what you can learn and how much we need to learn, and how much we need to fact check things, and how much we need to be totally illuminated, because we're nobles. And like I said, February 9th is going to come, and I just hope everybody, if they want to learn, become students and put it on your heart. And is it important to you and your family? Because once you remember your whole family members, and things can be accomplished. Because if we're conscious, we can't just be conscious on one thing. We have to be conscious on everything in life. Our finances, the way we love, the way we work out, the way we eat, the way we go to work, the way we build with the right morals, where we can build our own body, where we can have our own, because the laws protect us when we do the things the right way. And like when I tell Moors, I said, you can do anything if you put your mind to it and if you prepare. I tell Moors all day, Brother James Bay on here, like when me and Brother James be conversing, and I said, James, I don't think Moors understand when I be breaking down simple mathematics, when I be breaking down multiplication and division. The things that we do, and we talk about science, science is things that's supposed to be used in life. When I talk about the duality, when I talk about the XO and the SO, these teachings supposed to be used in life, because science work. Yes, and I told Morris, it's a sad day, but it's a good day, and people don't be believing me. I had about like 20 people hit me up today. My embers be cracking up. She'd be like, cut your phone off at night, please, and I do. Morris hit me up like, Noble, my funds. And I'm like, Noble, I'm on your page, I'm seeing you. Either you lying to me or you lying to everybody else, so somebody lying, and I don't care about your lies. But I told Morris, and me and Brother James sat and we laugh about this. Morris been following me for months and years, and I say, this one class from getting ready to start. I say it's $5 a day for 55 days. That's your one-time enrollment fee. $5 a day for 55 days. That's $250. $5 a day for 55 days is $250. $5 a day for 55 days is $250. You get all your books, your fez, your turban, everything. And then I told Morris, we have a member due each month, $100 a month. What that $100 do? Service fee. We collect it. What we're going to be doing with that $100? We're going to be using it every quarter. I'm going to show Morris where we at, because we're going to have our physical temple. All the paper, all the documents that I'll be sending you, I have to print them on a printing press. I'm going to be sending you guys so many PDF books. It's a lot of stuff I have to print stuff. A lot of books that you guys are going to be ordering for donations. I got to print them. We a body. Everything is tax exempt. We can have anything we want. Our schooling, our workout gym, everything, our studio, everything. Who's going to pay for it? We are. Because we can do this. We are a body. And then we can apply for grants and loans with our own Moorish grant writers. Just like my Amish homies do. Legal and lawfully. And so the $100 student due, that ain't nothing but $5 a day for 20 days. If you're conscious, if you say this is what you want, because you're going to get educated, I guarantee you, and your children are going to learn. And if you're serious, a lot of Negro, blacks, and color, and a lot of Moors, they got high blood pressure and diabetes. That's not passed down. That's because of what the foods you eat. But let me read this letter. I told you how one of the empresses bought this letter off Amazon for $3,000, and then it cost her $140 to get it. And I'm like, you don't have no original. You bought a copy of an original. And she's like, did I, Noble? And I said, yeah, I have all of them. And I'm putting them in a frame. My mother is an artist. I said, you just pay extra money for a frame, and if you would have got with me, you could have got all of it for $500 or less. All the pictures that's in here, I have them all. And wait till once my frames come and I put them in a frame, you're gonna be like, oh my God. You're gonna be like, no, this lady just didn't pay no $3,000 for no picture up Amazon. Talk about she got an original, and you got a copy of an original. My mother, an artist, she don't sell her originals. And because once you sell your original, it's only one. You know? And that's what I'll be telling people. I say, I'm a real student. I'm not here to play games. And I tell people who you connected to. I'm a real scholar. No disrespect. I'm a real adept. I'm not here to fool nobody. I teach. So watch when y'all see some of my kids when I taught the whole lessons about the conspiracy to destroy black boys. But I rewrote it and it's destroy black boys, Moorish boys and Moorish girls systematically. So let me read the letter to you. The Universal Negro Improvement Association, African Communities League, August 1929. He created one blood, all nations of men to dwell on the face of the earth. 2nd Beaumont Crescent, West Kingston, London, England, October 4th, 1937. Dear delegate and friend, I am sending you hereto attached a letter and a collecting list asking that you do a little urgent special work for our cause. We want to close the year out with a clean financial sheet for the parent body. So we are asking you to use the list among your friends and acquaintances to collect a Christmas box for the organization. Collect all you can and mail it in to reach us no later than the 10th of December so that we can be clear of debt before Christmas. Do your best. With best wishes, we have the honor to be your obedient servants. Universal Negro Improvement Association, Marcus Garvey, President General, Marcus Garvey, Miss Edna Greer, 1145 South 8th Street, Camden, New Jersey. And so when I be telling people and I say, man, I have a lot of stuff. When I start showing a lot of my charts, like my Louisiana purchase map that they hide from y'all, this is what she paid for Amazon. But when I printed the original, I print them on original card stock. This the letter she paid for. I just copied it off. I didn't do one of my documents. This page right here is the money that he's adding up with the names on it. But when I do the documents, it be on the original paper. And all she got is a copy. This what she went on. This what she paid on Amazon. This what she paid on Amazon. And that's what I'll be telling people. We'll give our money away to somebody instead of supporting our own brother and sister that can give you what you want for a way cheaper price. Because you think you're getting something because you're buying it from a big business. And I say, these are personal sellers on here. You got a copy. What you got is a copy of an original letter. You don't have no original letter because there's only one. So how can you be on Amazon selling letters and then and say you got an original and multiple people got it? It's not an original. It's a copy. And you spent $3,000 on it, and you could have got them for me. I could have put them in the frame for you just like that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, a lot of them Moors, I know a lot of y'all, I told y'all 2 books was out of print that we couldn't get anymore. So everybody that didn't get the PDF, the Unto Thee I Grant book, let me know. I'm a PDF all y'all that book because you're going to need that. I'm going to touch bases on some science in the Unto Thee I Grant. I'm going to touch on that because we got some teachings in there. And we got another civic book that I talk about. It's a treaty on arrest and false imprisonment. This book right here is out of print that we can't get. It's expensive. I got this from one of my colleagues from Harvard. So I'm a PDF everybody this book. If I was going to send it to everybody hard copy, but it cost me too much. It cost me too much to print it. It's too late. She can't send it back. And I told her she didn't read people don't like to read. Like, people don't like to read contracts. And I said, you ain't even read it, because I opened the whole contract up and read it. Right at the bottom of it, it said that it's not original. It's a copy of an original. But it's your fault if you don't read the laws, because nobody lied to you. When you go in court, you're going to be like, I got scammed. They're going to be like, no, you didn't. They're going to be like, did you get the contract? Yep. Did you read it? No, you scammed over it. You ain't read the contract. I'm telling you. I know you ain't read the contract. Most Negroes don't. Look, man, So I was helping somebody. They paid me a nice chunk of change, and I was like, "Man, can you help me with this contract?" I think they hustling me. I said, "Did you read the whole contract? Because it's 500 pages." No. I said, "Man, I don't think they hustle you." He was like, "Why?" Because I highlighted everything what it told him exactly. All the signs was on page 418. So they were scamming through the book. I said, yeah, you scammed through it, but you didn't read it all. I had to read it all 5 times to make sure I didn't miss nothing. And everything that he signed his life away was right in the documents. So he went to court. They were in there laughing. I'm like, man. And I'm like, I said, you're going to waste your time. because it's in the contract. You didn't read it. That's your fault. I'm telling you. So this is one of the books. It's called a Treaty on Arrest and False Imprisonment, you know. And when Moors be saying stuff they don't need anymore, I'm like, only person to tell you that they don't need something no more is a person that don't know law. This was somebody gonna tell you that you don't need no more. Tell me, do you need this or not? Definition of false imprisonment. What constitutes a false imprisonment? Length of times required, damages and liability, malicious prosecution. Do you think you need to know about that? Absolutely. This is what Moors say we don't need anymore. And I say the true art of war is understanding how everybody think so you can navigate. Arrest without warrant, the law of the land, summons, complaint, memorandum of law on arrest without warrants. Don't you think you need to know that? Breach of the peace, a felony arrest. What is a breach of peace? Arrest for breach of peace. Treated breach of peace. Conditions of a felony arrest. You don't think you need to know that? Defense to unlawful arrest. Burden of proof. Good faith and probable cause. Ignorance of law. Guilt of party and arrest. Immunity. When I tell you, you better not be talking to no police. I don't give a damn if it's with your so-called legal rep. If you ain't getting immunity, you better shut up. You better not say nothing. And in my civics class, I'm going to teach that. I got whole lessons on everything, legally and lawfully, that you can look up. You can ask anybody. I don't care if they black, orange, purple, green. When they talk about the law, when they be like, yep, whoever you was talking to, he's a scholar. Because I'm telling you everything legally and lawfully, everything. But this book, this is big. I got precedent cases in here. We're going to go through it all, baby. We're going to go through it all. We're going to go through it all. Y'all heard me? And then I got a whole nother lesson. Remember I told you about life, liberty, and property. I got a whole nother lesson in my advanced civics class when I told y'all, I'm going to give you real stuff that you ain't going to get in college. I guarantee you. I got a whole nother lesson. The life, liberty, and property that I'm going to go over with everybody. This is a big lesson. The documents is a lot of CDs and tapes. So I'm going to go over the teachings. I'm going to go over it with y'all. You know, lesson 1, life, liberty, and property. Chapter 1, the basics of life, liberty, and property. Definition of life, liberty, and property. Historical origin of law. A self-government introduction. Chapter 1. Chapter 2, life, liberty, and property. The law of the land. Nature of the law of the land. Magna Carta and English law. Confirmation of Magna Carta. Lesson 3, life, liberty, and property. The law of the land, the law, the unwritten Constitution of the United States. Don't you know what was the unwritten Constitution of the United States? Oh yeah. Ain't no excuse of not knowing the law. Lesson 4, the political conflict over liberty. Conflicts in biblical history. English law and the Norman conquest. Moors were like, what's the Norman conquest? You're going to learn in class, in civics. King John and Magna Carta. Lesson 5, the political conflict over liberty. Law above government. What? Yeah, you heard me. Lesson 6, the religious aspect of life, liberty, and property. When we get into the religious laws. Next lesson, the religious aspect of life, liberty, and property. Conforming to the law of God. Colonial ministries on liberty. The next lesson, the American doctrine of due process in colonial America. Man, I ain't even touched. And this 17 lessons. Due process under the common law. Intent to preserve common law principles. Limitations on the legislative power. Colonial legislative limitations. Legislative law is not the law of the land. Legislative law is not the law of the land. Man, I'm trying to tell you. The American Revolution. The American doctrine of due process. Fundamental law, not to be changed. When I told y'all, do y'all know what the doctrine of discovery is? The American doctrine of due process. So you don't get all this in class. This is what my kids, this is what my babies know. When I say when so-called Black history finna come, oh man, the teachers can't wait. Because I'm telling you, my students, they illuminated. They talk about real history. Stuff that people don't know. So I'm gonna give y'all a divine warning. The citizens of the free national government, according to their national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. Islam, noble. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuse and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. And it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional law of a free national government and cling to the names and principles that delude to slavery. I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to the state of mind of their forefathers, divine and national principles, that they will be law abiders and receive their divine rights as citizens according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. They are to claim their own free national name and religion. There is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and for the earth. And it comes only through the connection of the Moorish divine national movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world. And through it, they and their children can receive their divine rights unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government and not under a granted privilege, as has been the existing condition for many generations. So if you doubt what I'm giving you is profit and scholarship, and our principles are right for the reception of our people, to those that know law in the city hall and among the officials in your government, and ask them under an intelligent tone, Moors, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply. For they are glad to see us bring out the darkness into light. When I tell Moors, all you got to do is ask any political person in your local government, what were Negro, black, and colored called before the Civil War? I'm telling you, you were called a Moor. That's why Shakespeare wrote about who? Othello the Moor. So many people played Othello. Lawrence Fishburne played Othello. What's the other guy? Morgan Freeman played a Moor. So many people played a Moor. But money doesn't make the man. It's the free national standards and powers that make a man and a nation. That's what I be telling people. I don't get into following people because a broken clock is correct twice a day. If we're just going to talk and we're not going to get into solutions, and we're going to steady call ourselves black and colored, and what's the solution for black folk? Where I tell people off top, the one solution is stop calling yourself black. Because in science and law, black means dead. So attach dead to everything you call black. Attach dead to everything you call black. Black is misnomer. Show me where black land is. Obama told you in 2010. He told you. He told us this. That's why he not black. According to science and law, black means dead. It's so, we got to know this. Martin Lawrence played a Moor. I mean, it's so much. You know? And through it, and our children can receive our divine rights unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot. Oh, I gave you that. But I told you money don't make the man. It's our free national standards and powers that makes a man and a nation. And the wealth of all nations and all national governments, gold and silver and commerce belong to the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship by name and principles, you have no true wealth. That's right. And so I be asking people, when you say you part of some movement and you part of a Moorish science temple, and I say, well, people just collecting money. Those are for-profit movements. People just selling you items. Where's the teaching? And if it was real righteous, anything that you did with me, when you get books and everything through me at the end of the year, you're going to get a tax-exempt receipt. But I'm hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national free government. I'm calling for all true citizens. If you're a true citizen, you should be standing for a national free government instead of just talking in circles. And the enforcement of the Constitution. We enforce the Constitution. You must know the Constitution. I'm not speaking nothing outside of the laws that govern this world. That's what I tell people. We defend the Constitution to help us in the great missionary work, because we need the support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. You got to help us in this teachings, to help our people, you know, to get us back in the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate, and will live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America, legally and lawfully, Moors. You know, that's right. I love my people. But black is beautiful, orange is beautiful, white is beautiful, but it's not your nationality. So stop listening to people just because they talking all that stuff of what's the solution for black people. Not calling yourself black. What's the solution for black people is your nationality and your spirituality, which makes you a complete five. The Moorish Science Temple was first established as a civic organization. Then it was reestablished as a religious organization. Y'all don't know the science because to be a complete 5 over 5th, you need your nationality and your spirituality. Don't y'all understand? You the 3/5 chattel. It's cattle. That's the Dred Scott law. And then you want to be like everybody else. You is reclassified as a person, place, a thing. Black wallet, ownership. This little stick, ownership, a thing. And we fall for that crap because somebody say something right one time. You know? But we got to get our national and divine standards back because day by day, they have been violating the national and the constitutional laws of the government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, isn't it so more than right that the law should be enforced upon all American citizens alike? So why you think they ain't gonna make you do that? Why? Because they want you to be a slave for life. That's the Sundry Moore Act. I'm telling you, you were the slave for life. That's the Dred Scott law. You want to identify to a Negro, black, and color? So if Italians, Greeks, and English, and Chinese, and Japanese Moors, think about that. Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America. It is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike and in all other governments when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent, his name, and if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled. Think about this. Any group of people that fail to answer up the constitutional standards of law by name and principles, because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name. So if they're not making you do that, what are they classifying Negro, blacks, and color under? What? Chattel. And then you hear Moors talking about when I say self-identifying is a multiple and it follows under a plethora of things because you can self-identify verbally. How? Proclaim, declare, and due process. But then when somebody pushes some papers in front of you and you're not on there and you just circle something, you proclaim something that you wasn't. So self-proclaiming is writing who you are, putting the box, writing your Moorish nationality with your all rights reserved. That's another form of self-identifying. Because when you don't say nothing, just like when you don't respond to stuff, you are admitting guilt. But you ain't listening to me. You got the right to defend yourself. But you ain't listening to me. In all other governments, when a man is born there, you got to do that. You know, the word Negro deludes in the Latin language to the word nigger. And the same as the word color deludes to anything that is painted, varnished, or dyed. And every nation must bear a national descent name of their forefathers, because honoring thy father and thy mothers, your days will be lengthened upon this earth. And these names have never been recognized by any true American citizen of this day. And through your free national name, you are known and recognized by all nations of the earth that are recognized by the said national government in which they live. And the 14th and the 15th Amendment brought the North and the South in unit, placing the Southerners, who were at that time without power Moors, with the constitutional body power. And at that time, Moors, in 1865, the free national constitutional law that was enforced since 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, right? There is no need for the application of the 14th and the 15th Amendment for the salvation of us. Are y'all following me? When I say you got to be careful of certain people with feds on because they'll put you back in slavery. Did y'all just hear the science that I just gave you? I hope y'all caught that science. So there isn't but one supreme issue for us, for my people, to use to redeem that which was lost. And that is through the above statement that I gave y'all. When I talk about the lion and the lamb can lie down together in yonder hills, and neither will be harmed, because love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice will be reigning in this land. In those days, the United States will be one of the greatest civilized and prosperous governments of the world. But if the above principles are not carried out by the citizens and my people in this government, the worst is yet to come, Moors. Because the great God of the universe is not pleased with the works that are being performed in North America by many people, not just others, all of us, especially when my Negro, black, and color calling themselves blacks and not going to adhere to the laws that free us. Nothing else gonna, if you think your money gonna free you, you just a nigga with some money. You thinking you're a religious person, you just a religious slave. You think being baptized something, you just a baptized slave. You just a nigga with some money. It's your free national name and your spirituality which make you a complete fifth. We proclaim, declare, and have due process. It only take 30,000 of us to proclaim it, take it to the world courts, and we would do what? Be restored. You're not finna get no reparations. I don't give a damn what nobody tell you. How are people that ain't gonna agree to one national name gonna get some damn reparations? And Moors can't even agree to nothing because you listen, because people just follow people. You know?
I'm done.
But the worst is yet to come, y'all. The worst is yet to come. You know? Do hereby believe that this administration of government being more widely prepared by more geniuses, citizens that believe in the free national constitution and the laws, and through the help of such classes of citizens. That's why our prophet said, that's why I always teach. I tell my people, we got to find the true and divine way of our forefathers and learn to stop serving carnal customs and mere ideas of man that have never done us no good. And they always brought harm to us. We got to stop following the custom. Give Caesar back what is his. Give Caesar back what is his. We're Moors, man. And if you don't understand the science, you should be under the auspices for you can operate legally and lawfully. That's why I say it's obligations and rules. You know? We must know ourselves. We must. It's no other way. We got to, it's rules and regulations of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's why we must submit to certain things. And the progress of the Mohammedan religion, which is Islamism. Our religion is Islamism. No outside Islamism is connecting God and man as one. That's what we got to talk about, you know? That's what this is all about. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice in our relation. And the object of this science is to uplifting the fallen humanity and teach those things necessary to make our members better citizens. It's just what it is. And you got to understand the duality of things. You have to. You have to, Moors. I'm going to read something to you. And then I'm going to read one more document. And then class is going to be started. And I hope everybody is a student. Those that's not students, oh well. But the greatest weapon in the hands of our group today, and what I teach in America, is our press. What press? Moors, I've written 12 books. I'm getting ready to put my 20th book together. Every Moor should have it. Why? Because we're supposed to teach our own history. Or you think somebody else is going to teach your history the right way? And when I show y'all documents, when I show y'all the J. Edgar Hoover educational bill, when I start showing y'all how people created the public schools to teach you just to go to school, work, and complain and be a slave. But the greatest weapon in the hands of our group in America is our press. I have a press. How you think I print my own literature and give it to all y'all PDFs for a donation and don't charge you a bunch? Because I am the publisher. I am the author. I want my people to have it. I'm a nonprofit. So I created and established things so I can ask for donations. And I can get the literature to you. But it's our print press, and the truth will never be told about a disadvantaged minority by the general press of any country, whether the minority be racial, political, or religious. It ain't gonna happen unless we express ourselves through papers of our own. The truth about us will not be told when we expect somebody else to teach us about us. When everybody be posting stuff, well, look at the white man, he said some good about us. But I've been telling us about us forever. But we look for other people to tell us about us, and we still have that slavery mentality. And I told y'all that Willie Lynch letter is a myth. Y'all, we still fall for Negropean and European propaganda. That Willie Lynch letter is a myth. That Willie Lynch letter is all fake. I told you I destroyed that language. It's garbage. It's propaganda. We organized at the Moorish Holy Temple of Science in the year of 1925 and were legally incorporated as a civic organization under the laws of the state of Illinois on November 29th, 1926. The name Moorish Holy Temple of Science was changed to the Moorish Science Temple of America, May 1928, in accordance with the legal requirements of the Secretary of State of Illinois. So first it was civic, and then next was it religious. There go those other two pillars of that 3/5, right? Are y'all seeing how powerful our prophet was and what he was doing? Are y'all following this science? Our papers are our only hope of solving ourselves out of under the avalanches of lies that are annually let loose upon us. A strong free press is the best possible safeguard for the liberties and general promotions and defense of the interests of a strong free people. Where the literature? I got the literature. Empress, can you grab my books real fast so I can show this the books I finished? They over there. I know I'm all my books that I printed. You know where they are, Isis?
These ones with the...
Yeah.
These ones or these ones?
Mine. It should be in one of them, the ones that I printed. My books.
What are you talking about?
That's why I say, help me save my people who have fallen away from the constitutional laws of government. And I'm depending on your support to get them back into the constitutional fold again. And that's how we will learn to love instead of hate. And we'll live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. No, these ain't mine. I'm talking about my books. You know, the ones that I printed and divine. With the Divine Creed and all those books. I know I got y'all over here working. Sorry, y'all. So did y'all got all that, man? Let me get all these papers. Let me get all these papers together. I got stuff everywhere. And I be getting my butt chewed out by my ladies. They be on me like, boy, you got mess everywhere. Clean that crap up. All right, thank you. All right, so I'm going to preview some of my books. When I said there's no reason for Moorish to be complained. Some of the books, I got PDF. I have to find them, like my Healthy Eating and Living book. Like a lot of the workouts I do and a lot of the smoothies that I make, I got a book for it. I got a lot of herbs that I use and what the herbs do. It help you clean yourself out. A lot of my workouts, I used to be like, ask my Empress. When we first moved to Arizona, I thought I was in shape because I just was big, had a big stomach, lost all that 6-pack, run 10 miles a day. I'm on the pull-up bar, swing legs all up. I'm 43. I'm telling you. So it is what it is. But one of my books is the interpretation of the Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. Nobody should be confused. Here it go right here. Here it go right here. Just plain and simple. You should be studying this every day. Every day. You should be studying it. 14 famous Asiatic scientists in history. This is what a lot of my elementary students be writing up on. When I be telling y'all, I said, my students are scholars. All my students, all my elementary students, all my kids, they scholars. They ain't right watch when so-called Black history finna come. And my students be writing about, like one of my students was writing about when he wrote about Benjamin Banneker. He wrote about Charles Drew. People don't even know who Charles Drew is. Wrote about Daniel Hale Williams. One person like, who is Daniel Hale Williams? I said, ask one of my elementary students. Emmett Chappell, Ernest Everett Just. All these scholars in history, they ain't gonna tell you about. Garrett Morgan, you know what I mean? They ain't gonna tell you about none of these scholars in history. You know, none of these. George Washington Carver. And wait till all my other books out. I got so much all through history. James West, you know what I mean? Mae Gibson, first African-American woman astronaut. Marie Manor Dale, you know, earned her PhD in chemistry. Norbert Rilix, Percy Lavin Julian, Patricia Bath. All these people, man. Come on, man. Delectable vegan treats. When people just be talking that hogwash. I make our own books. We ain't got to fall under nobody else stuff. We got our own vegan snack book. We made food. You know, I got PDF. This book in black and white, but I got them in color too. With a lot of vegan snacks. a lot of vegan treats and stuff. You know what I mean? And all I ask my members to send donations. Black scholars who debunk Eurocentric propaganda. When my student wrote on this, when my student wrote about Sheikh Anta Diop, didn't nobody know who Sheikh Anta Diop was? One of my students wrote on one of our scholars, Ivan Van Sertima. They didn't know who Ivan Van Sertima was. I'm telling you, I put literature, I make literature. So when I'm gone, I taught my kids. Dr. Francis Quelch Wilson. Look at our queen. Come on, man. Y'all playing. Don't play with me. Our brother, Dr. Joseph Ben Jacquemin. Come on, man. We write the story. My kids got all the libraries. All the books from our people, we got them. John Henry Clark, we got them. Dr. Anthony Martin. Dr. Anthony Martin. See, this is what my kids write about. They ain't got to write about stuff somebody giving them. We're going to talk about all the stuff across the board. Dr. Chancellor Wilson. Dr. Chancellor Wilson. You know? This is stuff in our books we write for our kids, man. Dr. George G.M. James. When I told you all about stolen legacy, when I told you about Socrates and Plato and Aristotle, when I was doing my master's degree at Grand Canyon University, I was getting my dual master's degree in first century religion and first century history, and I destroyed that Greek mythology crap. I destroyed that. But you some Greek god. No, you Egyptian god. Sheikh Anta Diop. Sheikh Anta Diop. A lot of his books he was writing in Latin, and John Henry Clark, he translated a lot of it. One of the best scholars ever, and they don't talk about. Period. John Henry Clark. John Henry Clark and Sheikh Anta Diop was boys. A lot of them was boys. They all talked that more science because they knew. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Dr. Maria Ani. I'm telling you, Moors. And this is just preface of our history. Oh, here go my boy, Dr. Amos Wilson. That's my boy right there. Oh, that's my boy, man. That's my boy right there, Amos Wilson. Oh, man, Amos Wilson. Woo! Man, Amos Wilson. Oh, my God. I listened to a lot of his lectures. Man. Yes. No. But that was my Black Scholars book. But Amos Wilson was firecracker. My children wrote on this. And they had me come up to the school. They was like, the teachers just wanted to meet me. And they was like, keep teaching your students because they're scholars and they're very intelligent. I'm like, thank you. Moorish American Light of Ali and the Moorish American Adapt Study Guide, the House of Ali, Mysticism, the Egyptian Adapt, Prophet and Angel. See, I don't hide nothing from our brothers and sisters. I don't hide nothing I'm a teacher. We come up together. That's how we be strong and we have our own stuff. Sufism and the triple rule of the Adapt Chamber, featuring the Comedic and Adapt Manual and the use of our carpenter tools. Huh? How we gonna play with people? We say the keys right here. Telling you, man. And there were just a couple of my books. We got a new book coming about, the 100 questions to ask the Moorish American about nationality, spirituality, and history. I'm gonna break it all down in my new book. I got a new law book coming out about you have the right to shut up. That's the name of my new book. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, I had everybody cracking up. That's the name of my new book. You have the right to shut up. I'm telling you, and it's talking about law. When we always want to think we're so smart, we want to just talk to the police. And I had to tell one of my persons, I was asking me, would I go over their case? And I'm like, did you talk to the police? Yep, I can't do it. You a snitch. They like, what you mean? I said, you snitched on yourself. They like, what you mean? I said, you gave information to talk to you. That's what I said. I said, you snitched on yourself because you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will used against you in the court of law. And the Negroes thinking they can outsmart the police. I said, if you talk to them without immunity, I can't do nothing for you. I can't do nothing for you. Because see, Negroes think they so slick and they think they so smart. And they just open their mouths without counsel, you know? And I tell people, oh, you talk to the police and you giving them information, I can't help you. I can't help you. I cannot help you. You go ahead. I cannot help you. And I'm going to show y'all that in our civics class. Didn't I do the case study with y'all before? And see, and everybody that answered it, they on here, I did the case study before. When a person would convict themselves. And I'm going to do it again when I gave y'all a case study. And I was like, okay, APB out. Police said they showed up to a murder. It looked like a gang-style slaying. It looked like a triple homicide. But no suspects. We thinking a police officer is involved. And then after I got to talking, I said, I'm going to come back and ask y'all a series of questions. And I'm just paraphrasing it. And so I came back. I said, how many people were shot? How many people were shot? Everybody came back with like, oh, 3 people were shot. This people was shot. 1 person was shot. 5 people were shot. Whatever. I said, I ain't say nobody was shot. Everybody like, damn, what you mean? I said, I just asked you a question. I said it was a gang-style murder. I ain't say it was no weapons done. I ain't say it was no knife used. I ain't say it was no gun used. I said it was a gang-style slaying, a triple homicide gang-style slaying. I ain't say none was used. So the next thing I asked a person, how many people were shot? And everybody started answering. I said, you see, you convicted yourself. They took it out. I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all, man. So I told y'all the infinite wisdom, the Unto Thee I Grant, one of the books that I told y'all that's out of print that I sent the PDF to y'all, and the readings in the Holy Quran that diverge from the Unto Thee I Grant. It followed the infinite wisdom. And in 2 instances, the Holy Quran diverges from both. In the first instance, enough of evil is allotted unto man, but he maketh it more while he lamenteth it. It is left out, the chapter 44, verse 10. And in verse 9 and 19 of the same chapter, who remembered himself in joy became who remembered themselves as a boy. And here is more instances when our prophet Noble Drew Ali changes and proves the original. And in chapters 19 to 44 of our Holy Quran are found in the pages 19 to 63 of Unto Thee I Grant. Research it. And page 27 to 102 of the Infinite Wisdom. Research it. And I keep telling y'all, the science our prophet said he gathered and compiled it. That's why I have to keep fact checking Negroes when they be lying on our prophet. And he said he gathered and compiled and divinely prepared. So don't lie. Our prophet Noble Drew Ali did not plagiarize no Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I got to make that clear. And there are many accusations by people in various groups claim that our prophet Noble Drew Ali plagiarized the Quran that he published in 1927. And it's extremely important that we clear up the language that these accusations, because you may intentionally or unintentionally commit acts of libel or defamation of character. Just as it is a crime to steal one's work or idea and claim it is yours is a crime. And to slander someone's reputation. I told y'all what plagiarism is and what all that is. I'm not going to break that down and what defamation is and what slander is all about. But I'm going to talk about this Moorish Quran. And our prophet Noble Drew Ali published the Moorish Quran in the Science Temple in 1927. And however, he never claimed to have wrote the Holy Quran, nor has he ever claimed to be of his own ideas. Our prophet Noble Drew Ali actually claimed the opposite. He stated on the cover of the Holy Quran that it was divinely prepared. And the word divine means of or from God, and prepared means to make something ready for use or consideration. And due to the name correction in 1928, there are 2 versions of the Moorish of the Holy Quran. One reads the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, as the other reads the Holy Quran of Moorish Science Temple of America. And both of the pamphlets are the same organization founded by our prophet. They both the same. And Levi's Donnelly's in his Aquarian Gospels of Jesus Christ. It was published December 1st, 1908. And he said, and I quote, I transcribed the text of the book Aquarian Gospels from the Akashic records. Do y'all hear me? From the Akashic records, a purported compendium of mystical knowledge encoded in a non-physical plane of existence. And therefore, Levi Donnelly, too, has claimed that the information in his book was not of his own. Also, Unto Thee Grant, Sir Ramathirio's Unto Thee I Grant, the one that I sent y'all, published in 1925, as well as the Rosicrucian Order. It stated out that the mysteries of the past comes this antique book, Unto Thee I Grant, that was written 2,000 years ago, but was hidden in manuscripts from the eyes of the world and given only to the initiates of the temples in Tibet to study privately. So what's the introduction of our Moorish Quran say? These teachers that these 18 years has been hidden because they was where? In Tibet with who? Come on, man. But they was hidden in manuscripts formed from the eyes of the world and given only to the initiates of the temples in Tibet to study privately. And therefore, turn it down a little bit, Empress, Mr. Cyril Ramathirio, too, has claimed that the information in his book is not his own. Divinely impaired and prepared, our prophet Noble Drew Ali says exactly where he received his teachings within the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Page 3, it reads, the reason the lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. See how simple this stuff is? The lessons of this pamphlet are not for sale per se, but of the sake for humanity. Come on, man. This simple. Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, that the teachings are an ancient teachings in which he does not take credit for, and neither does Levi Dowling or in the Rosicrucian Sir Ramatherio, and with much respect. In addition, according to the legal definition, the denotative definition and the etymological definition of plagiarism, as well as the words of the authors of said sources, Prophet Noble Drew Ali did not plagiarize the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America. And according to the Rosicrucians, Sir Ramatherio is not the originator of the information provided in the book title Unto Thee I Grant. And out of the mysteries of the past comes this antique book that was written 2,000 years ago, but was hidden in manuscript from the eyes of the world and given only to the initiates of the temple in Tibet to study privately. And according to the Korean Gospels, Levi Dowling told you that too. He got the teaching from the Akashic records. I'm telling you. And then and Levi Dowling, according to his book, he was merely a transcriber. Research what a transcriber is. You got to know these words. Research what a transcriber, and is known to his followers as the transcriber. Our Quran question for Moorish Americans. Question 17. What is our religion? Islamism. Question 18. Is that a new religion? Absolutely not. I'm telling y'all, Mohammedan faith among our people in the United States. That's what it really was. I'm telling you, man. This simple stuff. That's why I can't wait till class start, man. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. Because a lot of my Moors are getting their fezzes. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of this fez history. When Moors be asking me, am I going to give us some of the 32 degrees? I'm going to go over this one more time. But in school, I'm going to give y'all all this document. I think I sent this to you, Noble. Mobite, I think I said this to you when you was asking me, did I have some history about the feds for you? And this is just elementary science. Wait till I give you all the high science. You're going to be like, wow. When I told y'all receiving degree regarding the feds, that the hex alpha, the dual triane, is the geometric representation of the Mobite Moorish feds. And the woman has given a crown of knowledge to her son within the span of 9 months in the most illuminated school of the universe, which is her womb. The fez symbolizes her womb. So I told y'all that the fez is the ancient and modern national headdress of the Moabites and the Moors. And the fez is a brimless headdress, mostly common, produced in scarlet, EXYZ, all that good stuff. I told you that the black fez is the highest degree. It is worn by the mufti of Mohammedan judges, usually those out of security. But in my science, security, when we're dealing with wisdom, but it's the Moorish United Front towards Islam, enforcement and security, and the one who wears it symbolizes that he or she, knows law in full and is able to defend it, including knowledge of martial arts, defense, physical and spiritual, likened to the martial arts degrees of the black belt. The fez is worn as the symbol of the womb. The top of it has a nipple shape that has a symbolizing the navel. The strands of the tassel are 360. As in 360 degrees of knowledge. The tassel is not pinned down, as in the secret societies. It's properly, the free-flowing tassel is indicative of the one who is born of the womb, endowed with and aspiring to beyond 360 degrees of knowledge. We navigate upon the earth, and our potential is not limited, not pinned down. It ain't kept secret. However, our stuff is sacred. But the 4 sets of breathing holes in our fez are equal to the number of the woman, or the woman's womb. 9 and add to 13 the number of times a woman cycles per year, which is tuned with the cycle of the moon. You know? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Wait till I take you beyond that. When I show you, when you shed the light out. I'm going to give you when I told y'all that the fez is the national headdress of the Asiatic nation of the North, South, and Central Al-Moroc's Americas, including the adjoining islands. You know, the fez is typically red, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know that. But I told y'all the cord extending from the eye, it symbolizes the universal umbilical cord of the universal life that represents the oneness of all of life. And it also represents the tie to the source of humanity, the Zodiacus, the first woman. The circular or the round ball of the tassel represents the mundane. This is the mundane circle or earth. And the cord wrapped around it, the cord wrapped around the tassel strands hold the form of the circle. Or red, it represents the unity of life through the zodiac constitution of humanity. And it also represents the cycle and the nature of life. And the strands of the tassel represents the 360 degrees of the zodiac, which is the highest law, right? Authority and civilization. And the zodiac crown of light, the national headdress of the mothers and fathers of the human family, the founders of civilization and the masters of the cosmos,